Welcome to the Richmond Events Podcast, where we take you inside the UK's most exclusive business forums. You'll get to meet the delegates, suppliers and speakers shaping their industries. Richmond Events, this is where business gets done.
Hello and welcome to the Market Insight Forum for Richmond Events. I'm here with Eleanor Tweddle. Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Oh, I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic. Eleanor, you've been talking about change mastery today and running a workshop. Tell us more about what is involved in that.
Yes, so one of my passions, very strange passion to have, but is to get people to have a better relationship with change. I discovered it because when I lost my job about 10 years ago, I was so bad at change, just navigating what was going on, what to do next. I just got really messy, did all sorts of inappropriate things like apply for jobs that I didn't even want. And that's where it all started for me. So now I run workshops and the whole aim is to just get people thinking about change differently.
So what are we hoping people are taking away from your workshop here at the Insight Forum?
Yes, so the title is Turning Uncertainty into Strategic Advantage, because I think that if you spend a little bit time thinking about change, properly thinking, like maybe doing the pause, which is what we've just explored now, sitting in silence, thinking about what do I really need right now. If you do all of that, you'll be ahead of people who are just in the panic zone, just in the busy zone, getting really like, okay, I've got to solve this problem. Whereas we're trying to slow everything down to create good space to think. And therefore, what I want people to take away is a better relationship with what's going on for them, a more kind of permission to think about these things so they can get better solutions.
This is one of the hardest things to ask people to do is stop.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of people, a saying I've heard is like, it's actually sort of, if you stop, you go further. Mm. But that mentality is a massive mentality to embrace. How do you make that more comfortable for people?
Oh, that's such a good question. And as a person who doesn't stop well, I have done a lot of research on this. And this is why I feel like I can be with the people in the room. I don't really come at it from a person like, oh, look at me, I'm amazing at meditation. If I meditate, I will probably just lie on the floor and think about what food I'm going to be eating that night and write another book in my head by the time the lesson's over. So I'm not great at it. So one of the things that I invite people to do is think about pausing from their perspective, like who they are. If they are a doer and they like being busy, why not think about how you distract yourself, how you do give yourself little moments of silence. That tiny little things that you can build in your day make a massive difference. It's not always about going to Thailand and lying on a beach for 3 weeks, even though perhaps that would be nice. It's understanding who you are in the pause. So yes, exactly. We all resist stopping, and yet if we do it our way, it can have huge benefits.
And are those pauses moments happening both in the workplace and when we're away from the workplace? Because again, home-life balance is one of the, there is nothing like that anymore. We're connected to work all the time most of the time through our phones and devices. Are those pauses like, it's okay to sit on the sofa and binge a few episodes, or build Lego would probably be my little getaway.
Yeah.
I'm in that. You know, is it those sorts of things, or is it something in the workplace like actually you're about to write an email, stop, take that pause? Where are we? How extreme? And
yeah, I love that. Well, you've absolutely described it really well. I call it the strategic pause because it needs to be more mindful. It needs to be a bit more strategy and applied thinking to it, rather than us just going like, oh, it's holiday, like, oh, I don't do that. You know, it is exactly what you described. We are more mindful. What do I need right now? So sitting with that question and saying, I just need a distraction. And if Lego is your distraction, you create that time to do it. Like, it will have huge benefits. Sometimes we don't feel like we can justify it, or we feel it's wrong, especially if we're under a massive amount of change at work and in life. We feel like, you know, well, it's all very well, it's a luxury, I haven't got time to stop. And yet if you're not taking time to stop, like, what are you doing? Are you properly taking the action that's going to help you to solve the problems? So that is the most important part, just going, what am I needing? Because if you keep on going and going, you're going to end up in burnout. So that's the kind of end result in it, and that's no good to anyone. So really being mindful on what pause do I need at home and at work. What does it look like? It doesn't have to be just, you know, all sitting in silence or all going on a silent retreat, which I'm not sure I could ever do. It can be something that really works for us, but it can be hugely powerful if we allow time to do it.
So how do leaders support this? Because turning around to your team and being like, right guys, we need to all stop working, that's a petrifying feeling. You think, oh my gosh, like, but you know, I mean, I heard someone within your workshop say, you know, we're all going away for a retreat next week, and my boss has said, that's fine, we're just going to work in a different location. But actually, how do you get that support from leadership, either if you're the sort of worker saying, look, actually we do need this break, or as a leader saying, how do I manage this without fearing the business is going to crumble for that day?
It's such a good question. I think, well, first of all, leaders are humans, and so all humans need rest, and all humans need this kind of pause and thinking time. Like, read any leadership book, read any kind of high performance book, like an Olympic athlete who's got gold. They will talk somewhere about how they do recovery, how they reset, how they set their intentions. So it's a really well-known thing. It is part of strategy. So leaders are humans that also need pause. So if they just take a step out for themselves and think, well, what do I need to do good thinking? Why would it be different for their teams to do it? So it is part of being a high-performing team. It is part of being, you know, really productive and making sure you're operating at peak. So to recognize that and build it in and enforce it and demonstrate it as a leader is hugely, hugely powerful.
Incredible. So what's one thing you're seeing people in the Market Insight Forum doing right at the moment? What's something we can encourage further and push to that next level to continue that correct strategy that they're doing?
Well, I think what every single person in this room and the theatre and this whole event today, what they do really, really well, because it's their business, ask questions. Asking good questions in moments of change is highly underestimated. You know, we just don't make the right time to ask the good questions, or think like, what's a good question now? Because we're always trying to find the answer. But sometimes just sitting with a question is more powerful. So I see them asking really curious questions, not feeling like they have to have an answer, just kind of going with it and going, how can this kind of work? And this is what these people do. Like this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to find data, insights, and learnings to then, you know, put into action or to create something that helps somebody to make a decision. That's what they do for a living. That is what we should be always doing, asking really, really good questions, but with a completely open mind as to what the answer could be. In fact, we might never find an answer, but we just continue. Like, I'm continually just asking, how can we be better at change? I'm never going to get there, maybe, but, you know, that's part of the curiosity.
Love this. Like, knowing that there might not be an answer. But that's also sometimes scary for people.
Yeah.
So actually going in your mind, I'm just going to keep asking the curious question, is, again, another mindset strategy to go with. I love this. So what do you see the importance of events like the Market Insight Forum? What does that do for businesses?
I think it's a moment where there's not many moments you can get a bit of fresh perspective on what you're doing. We get so in our work, which obviously is understandable. We get busy and we've got a big to-do list. And sometimes it could be something that we've been working on for so long, and actually we just needed time out. I mean, I think it's the ultimate pause. It's the ultimate first step in what I talk about, taking time out to be around people who maybe can share some of the problems or some of the things you're working on, but bring fresh ideas, bring fresh perspectives from it. I think what this does really well is bring lots of different speakers, lots of different workshops with very different ideas. So again, you don't have to go away and feel like you've been on a training course, but equally you don't feel like you're on a conference where you've just heard like one set of speak and you can't really talk about it. I see loads of conversations going on where people are discussing what they've just heard, and I see lots of people going, oh, let's catch up, let's like discuss this. So I mean, it can only be the ultimate pause, really. So I feel like that's exactly what these things do. Take time out, get a little bit distracted, get fresh perspective, get renewal energy, and go back into the organization feeling energized.
Do you know what? And this is it, isn't it? Sometimes when we think about pausing and resetting, you take yourself completely out of the situation, whereas actually you can still do it within the workplace. So this is a reset day for people, still business related, but it adds, and it can add that passion back in, that excitement. So when they get back to the offices, back to their teams, they're like, did you know, and they're off again.
Yeah, that's sometimes all we need. Sometimes that is all we need, just to take a step out not a step back. We're just stepping out for a moment. But you're right, it doesn't have to be completely removal. It can be just in a different environment. Like I work with people who sometimes they take their teams to like an art gallery, for example. So it's sort of work because we've still got the problems to work through as a team and see, but let's just walk around a museum or art gallery. Your mind is doing all sorts of things, so you've still got the problems going on, but it's getting fresh perspectives. And at the end, you have just such a fresh, energized conversation. That's what's kind of happening here. But you know, Richmond events are kind of pulling together all of your activity and your itinerary for you, so you can relax even more and just kind of enjoy and see where your ideas take you.
Eleanor, thank you so much. I could talk to you for so long about this subject. We haven't got time today, but thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.